First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now. Thank you very much for joining us. We are live here every weekday, starting around 1 p.m. Pacific, going throughout the afternoon, covering a wide range of topics here. And this segment today, right now, we're going to be talking about the Portland Latin American Film Festival, which has already kicked off. It's going for a couple of months here. Great opportunity to check out some pretty amazing films and filmmakers. And to learn all about that right now, joining us, we have the programmer and promoter for the Latin American Film Festival. We have Maria Osterroth. And Maria, thank you so much, for joining us here today. Really appreciate having you on here to talk about this. And, I think just to start off, could you just tell us just a little bit about yourself and about the festival, in case people don't know?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here. I'm very excited to share the information about the upcoming Portland Latin American Film Festival. We have been here for 18 years. So if you haven't been at the Hollywood Theater or to see one of our films, this is a good opportunity for you to immerse in Spanish-speaking films. And so we have been, as I said, for 18 years so far. And this year, we are going to start the 25th of September and coming up pretty soon at the Hollywood Theater again. And all the films that we are screening are in either Spanish or Portuguese with English subtitles. And there's a film that is going to be basically in English. It's a documentary about the Mars Volta. So we are very excited about this combination of films with fiction and documentaries that talk about the realities of Latin America. And so I'm from Mexico City. You asked a little bit about me. I'm from Mexico City. I moved to Portland 19 years ago. And I decided to start something that connects me with my culture, with Mexico and Latin America. So I think films give us an opportunity to travel to other countries, to see other realities, to understand us better, and to celebrate. Actually, this month is the Hispanic Heritage Month. So this is a little way also to contribute for that celebration.
Yeah, really a combo of a lot of things. And to clarify there, yeah, September 25th, that's when it's starting. So coming up soon is when it's going to be getting going, if people are watching live right now. And so you got here 19 years ago, so you jumped right into this, right as soon as you got here. You got started on this.
Yeah, I have a background as a journalist, journalism. I studied journalism in Mexico, and I used to work for different newspapers in Mexico City, writing about economics and different topics. But when I moved to Portland, I was like, okay, so I need to do something different. And yeah, I started like 1 year after I moved to Portland.
Well, looking at it from when you first started and then to where we are today, how have you seen the cinema culture and community change for Latin American films in particular over that time?
Well, I think now there's more awareness about the films from Latin America. We have like lots of great filmmakers from Mexico who actually have moved to the United States or other countries, like looking for more opportunities to have like a better distribution of their films. Like Alfonso Cuarón, Alejandro González Iñárritu, Guillermo del Toro. So they have been making our countries like more visible, right? So you can see like more films, or probably there are the same amount of films, but now people are more aware, and there's more interest about the films from Latin America or the Spanish-speaking countries. So I think it has changed. So it hasn't been easy for us to promote the films. It has been a little bit hard, but I noticed that we have a community that is interested because we provide the opportunity not only to watch films, interesting films that you cannot see anywhere else, but it's also the opportunity to get out of your house and create community, the sense of community, and have the opportunity to meet other people, and also the talent, the people behind the screen, right? Like the directors, the writers, the actors, the producers, the musicians. So for me, it's an opportunity to have a conversation and learn from their challenges. And I think that brings us a lot of like meaning. So it's not just watching the film, but also like start the conversation and also have fun and afterwards go and have a party and have a drink and meet other people. So yeah, I think it's, as I said, an opportunity to watch inspiring films, to know about our realities in Latin America, and also like have fun and celebrate our heritage, because there's a lot of people from all over the world in the United States, in Latin America, because of we are part of the Americas. So there's a lot of like immigration. So it's an opportunity to embrace, right, our culture.
I love that. You had said so many things in there that, it really hits home, and I think it's pretty amazing. Just to talk about, one specific aspect that you mentioned there, how important is that sense of community that's developed from something like the Portland Latin American Film Festival here in the city, in the region, and the conversations that can spark because of that?
Yeah, well, as you can see, like in the program, we have films from different countries, like from Cuba, the Dominican Republic, the United States, Peru, let me see, Brazil, Mexico, and so there are different topics that probably like, yeah, talk about who we are, what our challenges right now. So that's why I think it's important to look at the films, because it give us inspiration and give us the opportunity to learn from other cultures.
Yeah, and get to talk to somebody and learn something from the films themselves, but also from the people, as you mentioned, that are there behind it as well. Well, talking about the films, I mean, you just mentioned quite a few different countries of origin, and for these different films. Let's talk about the genres in there. So, is it a pretty wide range of genres that'll be part of this?
You know what? It's interesting because I really like comedies. When I go to the movies, I like to laugh a lot, because it also gives you opportunity to forget about your problems, right? But
Yeah.
it's interesting that in Latin America, in particular, I noticed that there are more instead of comedies, there are a lot of dramas. So many dramas you will see. And but the first movie, Los Frikis, even though it talks about Cuba, it wasn't filmed in Cuba. It was filmed in Dominican Republic, and it was directed by USA directors. So it's a comedy. It's a little bit of a drama, and we also have documentaries. We have like a couple of documentaries, but other than that, we have most of it dramas. We also have one comedy from Mexico, so it's a little bit of a mix of different genres.
So something, yeah, that everybody can take a look at and get a little something different from each one of those, I would imagine. And I do like the idea, as you mentioned, the one, it's a film about Cuba, filmed in the Dominican Republic with the USA director. And so just bringing all of that together, but all as part of, obviously, the Latin American Film Festival, and bringing those different cultures together and creating these movies and these films. For you, how hard is it to curate this, to find these films? And because as you mentioned, some of these, this may be the only place to see some of these films, around here. So what's the process like for that?
Well, I like to read a lot. So I read and I see what is happening in other film festivals. And I also travel to Mexico. There's a very good film festival in Mexico, the Guadalajara International Film Festival. It's a good marketplace where you have the opportunity to see films from Latin America. That's a very good way for me to see what's happening. And also, like, I look other film festivals around the world and then just do a lot of research. And then I contact the producers, the directors, and I have a professor in Mexico City who helped me. Actually, there's more people involved, like watching films and trying to decide what to bring. So it's a combination, and it's a passion right now. I can tell you it's like a passion. It's like, okay, look for films, and yeah, a lot of research and a lot of reading, and yeah, persistence.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you love this. You've been doing it for this long, so the passion side is definitely there. But that's I think it's just kind of interesting where these all come from, and bringing them all together here. Hollywood Theater, where people can go see a lot of these again, starting September 25th. Something else I just want to bring up too. How important and how involved is the Latin American community in the Portland area when it comes to this festival and showcasing, some of this amazing work that's happening?
Well, it's something still interesting for me to understand. So we have probably 50% of our audience is Spanish-speaking people, and the other 50% is Spanish and English. So we have a combination, half and half. So, and I'm very happy to have to be in your program because even though this is a service to the community, there are other channels that don't care about what we do, which is sad. So we really would like to have more people coming to the theaters. And we have a lot of attendees, but obviously we would like more people to come. And that's why I really appreciate this opportunity. So more people are aware of who we are, what we do, and what we bring to the community. So it's still like growing, but I think we need to grow more in terms of audience.
Well, just to give somebody, some ideas here too, we've got a few images here, but I do have a couple of trailers that, just to give somebody an idea of what is, what's going on in some of these. So we've got this one, right here, talking about Omar and Cedric. And can you tell us just a little bit about what we're seeing here? I love the way that begins already.
I am super excited because I'm a very big fan of music. I love music. And as you can see, this is a documentary about two musicians that are behind this band, the Mars Volta. I really like the Mars Volta. I've seen them twice, once in Mexico, and they are an amazing band. And when I knew that there was a documentary about them, I wanted to watch it. And I'm so happy that we are going to be able to screen it in Portland, even though they are not from Mexico or from Puerto Rico, but they have roots. And so they can show those roots in their music. So you can feel the roots from Latin America. So I'm super excited about that documentary. And there's another documentary that I'm very excited about too, that also has great music, even though it's not about music. It's Ayahuasca Now. And this is by a director from Argentina, and the music is by Gustavo Santaolalla. And probably this name, it sounds to you like Gustavo Santaolalla is a musician from Argentina. He has won some Oscars and Grammy Awards. And so he also has produced some bands from Latin America. So the music in this documentary is very interesting. And the name of the documentary itself tells you a lot. It's Ayahuasca Now, which we know is like a kind of a medicinal plant. And this medicinal plant is used to treat some mental disorders. And there's a group of veterans that goes to Peru to be treated by these shamans, and they receive a treatment, and they have like insights and a clear understanding what they were going through, like all the suffering they were going through. So they felt some relief after these sessions in Peru by this ayahuasca. So this documentary documents what happened in this journey. So it's really interesting to see, as I said, these different topics that show you what's happening in Latin America, right?
Yeah. Yeah, to be able to see it. And, that's why I love a good documentary also. I mean, all of these sound very interesting, but to be able to, I may not be able to go to Peru and see a shaman and do all that, but I can do that through watching this documentary and seeing what that's like and getting that experience. And I think that's one of the key things of being able to see films that maybe you ordinarily a lot of people may not ordinarily see these, and this is a great opportunity to see that. And I think to that extent, a question I would have for you, for people out there who maybe haven't been to the Portland Latin American Film Festival before, for those people who haven't attended the Portland Latin American Film Festival, what would you want them to expect coming in, and what would you like them to take away once they leave and watch some of these films and have conversations with people?
Well, first, to be curious, right? To be curious and to see films that you usually don't see in the movie theater or you don't see in your TV. And so just be curious, be open, and just have fun. Have a good time. Be open to meet new people, and also also meet the director of the films. And also, after you leave the theater, just have new ideas. And probably if you are a Spanish-speaking person or you come from a country from Latin America, just be aware of what's happening because probably you haven't traveled to your country of origin, just be aware how the world has been changing, because yeah, the world has been changing. And also for the people who have been in the United States and never had the chance to travel to Latin America, it's also an opportunity to travel through the magic of the cinema.
I love it. Well, for everyone who's watching right now, to let them know, again, we talked about the start date, but can you give us just a little bit more information about how they can find out more info about the festival and tickets and showtimes and all of that?
Yeah, so we have a website at the Hollywood Theater. So you just can go and Google Portland Latin American Film Festival. We also have Facebook and Instagram page, and we are trying to post information all the time. All our program is available also at the Portland Latin American Film Festival Facebook page. And so we start the 25th of September at 7 p.m. at the Hollywood Theater. This is an emblematic theater that I'm sure everybody has seen or have been there, because it's a beautiful place that many people know. And so after the opening of the film, we're going to have the directors and the producer and the actor coming to Portland. And after the film, we're going to have a Q&A session. The movie we are going to be screening the 25th is Los Frikis, that talks about like a band in Cuba that, well, I won't tell much about it, but it's super exciting. It's a comedy. It's going to make you laugh, but also think, and probably a little bit crying too. But after the Q&A session, we're going to have a party at Hey Love where people can come and continue the conversation with the talent that is coming to Portland to introduce the film. And after that, every week, we're going to have another film. So total, we are having 8 feature films and also a short film. So this is a great opportunity to come and see new films, meet new people, and just, yeah, have a good time.
Have a good time. That's the bottom line right there too. Well, Maria, thank you very much for joining us and sharing this information and getting the word out about all of this. And you know, I'm excited. Like, you've certainly these films sound amazing. So I can't wait to go check them out. And thanks for being here with us on Fox 12 Now. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, and I hope to see you all at the movies. Nos vemos en el cine. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And for everybody who's watching too, we are live here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We're going to be taking a break here in just a minute, but we're live every weekday from starting at 1 p.m. Pacific and going throughout the afternoon, covering a wide range of topics, including things like this, learning about festivals, learning about different cultural events that are happening here in the Northwest, all over the place. So feel free to send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com. That's fox12now@kptv.com. If you have something that you think might be good for a segment, feel free to send me an email. We'll talk about it and see if we can make something work. And again, thanks for joining us. Really do appreciate it. I'll sign off right now. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.